Hello and welcome to Getting Into It. I'm your host, Kobe Powell, and today I'm joined by the most beautiful woman you've ever laid your eyes on. And if her beauty wasn't impressive enough, her resume surely will be. Please welcome to the show, Dorris, Belle. Hey.
Hey. That was really good.
Thank you.
Clock it.
You don't have to talk to them. You can talk to me.
Yeah, but I don't like...
Oh, you don't like talking to me?
No.
I forgot, actually.
This is my smaller eye. And
You just told me this is your first time on a podcast.
No, I said... What? Yes, it is my first time on this podcast.
On this podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
On any podcast?
No.
I wanted to have the first.
You can have my other first.
I've got devastating news for you.
Man.
This happens every time.
Every time.
Okay. Well, this show is that we have very few segments, and one of them is called Getting to Know 'Em, where we get to know you before we get into it. Now, you have wiped your social media pretty clear of any of all things that I could find about you.
What?
Okay.
No way.
Except for the really impressive things, which I'm going to be talking about now.
True.
You're like, yeah, it's like I knew I was coming on the show. You were an RA at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, where you also majored in psychology and minored in French.
Yes.
Yeah.
However, I picked up another major and 2 more minors.
Another one? And 2 more minors?
Yes.
What's wrong with you? Tell me.
Too much. We'd run through
Wait till the topic part for that.
Yeah.
What were your other...
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Majors and
minored in
minors.
neuroscience and psychology. No, sorry. I majored in neuroscience and psychology, and I minored in French chemistry and marketing.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
French, chemistry, and marketing.
And marketing, yeah.
Not French chemistry.
No, French.
The art of French chemistry.
Yes.
And
yes.
French marketing.
And French marketing.
That's so... Do you know French?
Yeah, I studied it for I studied it for my 4 years in high school.
That's
then I studied it again for 3 years in college. I actually used it for the
Crazy.
first time at our job.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
somebody
crazy.
was talking to me, and then I was like, ugh. It was like,
Parlez-vous
no English.
français?
And I was like, do you speak French? In French, obviously.
Yeah.
They were like, yes. And then like, and I was like, slow down.
You were like, hold on, girl. I didn't say I spoke French.
Hang on.
I asked if you spoke French.
It was like my first time in like 5 years.
You
speaking
said parlez-vous
French.
français? And they said, ah oui, je m'appelle...
I was like,
C'est Lancelot, as a revolutionary. Yeah.
yeah.
They're
No,
doing that
it was
thing from
actually,
Hamilton. Yeah.
it was actually him. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
No lie.
you gotta find him somewhere. Lafayette. Back from the
Lafayette.
dead. I'm taking this horse by the reins, making red coats, red with blood stains. And I'm never gonna stop until I make a drop, and then I'm gonna scatter the remains out.
Lafayette.
All right, moving.
Sorry.
First of all, that's impressive. I'm gonna puke. I have half of an associate's, so
Well, I
catching
don't have
up with you.
any degree, so
You ever finished?
no.
That's but you have it. You know it though.
Yeah, I was 6
None
credits
of
away
this
from
is sticking.
finishing. And
None of
Donald
this is
Trump took
sticking.
my scholarship away. So
Right, the man in the house. I've heard of him.
our king,
King.
our
You
king.
can't say that.
Oh no, not our king.
Not.
I
They're
voted
doing.
for him.
They're doing. What'd you say? Moving on. You were the membership chair for the Blazer Women Mentoring and Excellence Network at
The
UAB
women.
as well.
Yes.
UAB.
UAB, yeah.
Yeah. What was that about?
So essentially, it was like a networking kind of club where technically we weren't supposed to say black women because anybody could join. But why would anybody want to join B women? It was black women. But anyway, where like
I would join.
and you would, and I believe you.
And I believe you, but it's not for you.
So essentially, we like paired people. Well, my job was to pair people up with like higher up, like seniors, juniors, and freshmen and stuff like that. We focused on community. Going to what is the word? Where you volunteer. Yes,
Yeah.
those things. Keeping up with your grades, making sure you're like talking to professors and how to like network amongst college students, how to find jobs and things like that. My job as mentorship chair was to make sure that they clocked in with their mentee once a week, every week with like a certain number of activities, and then once a month with a certain number of activities, and then make sure they had like group events to do.
Yeah.
Make sure they're actually doing their job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Sorry, this is bothering me. It's not
Okay.
properly. There we go.
Oh,
That wasn't your fault, it
I
was
sound
mine.
so much better.
No, it makes no difference. It's
Oh.
just so I don't have to look at it the whole time.
It's actually a little tall.
I'm thinking I might have ADHD. What do you think about that with your neuroscience degree?
I mean, based off of what I just seen, it would give more of a OCD than ADHD.
Maybe it's a cocktail of different things, but we'll get into that whenever we get into your...
hand, actually.
Yay! My last fun fact to have about you is that you were the social media chair for the African Student Association at UAB too.
Oh my gosh, yes, actually. Yeah. So that actually led me to my job that I had in college. One of them, I had two.
You were a social media manager.
Yes.
For...
oh, you got it.
I don't remember, but it was some company.
Yes.
And you were there for like almost 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.gov.
I know.
LinkedIn.edu.
Cahaba River Society is an environmental nonprofit. I also worked with digital marketing for this other nonprofit called Ignite Alabama. Mm-hmm. Don't go to them. They're terrible.
And then you worked somewhere else for like 7 months in between.
Yes.
Some like... it was like a realty thing? Or, no, you were like a resident?
I was a leasing agent for another company.
God bless you.
That one took most of my time. Like, that was like a 40-hour job.
Yeah.
But I also did their marketing there, too. And that's how I built my social media specialist resume. They were like, Gen Z? Love
Gen
it.
Z? Come on in.
Yeah.
Do those little TikTok dances,
Cahaba
girl.
River Society. Yes. If you see their Instagram, back in like 2023-ish, that was on me. That moments of calm. Me.
You said psychology, social media,
marketing, and that's where that minor comes in.
Yeah, there you go. One of the 4 that you have.
It's 3.
Counting's hard for me.
Well, to be fair, chemistry, I had to take chemistry in order to get a major in neuroscience.
Oh, okay.
So.
But, I mean, you still should count it. I mean, I passed chemistry in high school by the skin of my teeth. So, I think I actually failed it. I think you just passed me because it was like, he has to graduate.
Was it?
It was like senior year.
Wait, did you graduate during COVID?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you're like...
I graduated 2022. Yeah. High school.
I am around children. God.
Including Frederick.
Is he? How old is he? He graduated in 2022.
I think he transcends space and time.
So then why would you randomly say that?
I just wanted to acknowledge him because he's a little boy.
I lived on the beach for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
Gulf Shores, Alabama. Wow, you didn't...
I know nothing about Alabama.
I mean, but like...
Tell me about Alabama. Tell me good things about
Okay,
I don't need to know. I've heard some things.
Alabama's actually so beautiful. Every time someone asks me about it, I literally bring up the fact that like it has the most diverse biomes in all of the other states. Like it's literally the epitome of like the different biomes. Also, the Bible Belt, which you would think is just because that's where, I don't know, the people who are the most religious are, which is not true. Actually, all of Alabama is religious. Hate to be that. But the Bible Belt has literally the most fertile soil. That's where the cotton was grown. Not going to talk about that. But like...
If you want to, you can.
No. We're good. But like, it's so beautiful. That's the beginning of the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. And then the beach is at the very end of Alabama. That's where I grew up, at the south of Alabama. And then like, the middle is a bunch of farmland, but it's not like rural farmland. It's like it's like beautiful crops.
It's like green. Yeah.
Yes, and there's trees. There's apple trees. There's cotton. There's corn. Maize.
Maize.
I was like, I don't know if you've seen Grown Ups, but
maize.
Yeah, no, Alabama is so beautiful, and I hate the bad rep that they get. I would honestly go back. Like that's where I love being outside. I don't like insects.
Yeah.
I don't like dirt being on me physically. I did play soccer, but I do love being outside with the natural light. Which, fun fact, Kobe hates natural light.
I do hate natural light. I have closed every single... There's 3 blackout curtains on the 3 windows in this loft. And I was like...
My curtains are just for decorations. Like, they're never closed.
I only close it whenever I'm filming because I do actually like natural light.
So then why would you say that?
Oh, because I don't want to interfere with the camera.
Oh my God.
So now you made me look like a fucking idiot on fucking podcast.
That's why we weren't friends before this. Fun fact, we weren't friends before this.
We weren't friends before right now.
Right now. He pulled me off the street and he said, "You're probably not."
What were you drinking when we became friends? I see you got it over there.
Guys.
You brought it as a housewarming gift.
The day we became friends, I was so drunk. I was on Cutwater. I did not talk to Kobe before this. And then we became friends because
we worked together for
and that's a gift.
months at this point.
You know,
but
actually,
she
for
had
like
a couple
8
one
months.
of these, and she aired her grievances with me, and I helped. I talked it out, and now she's on my podcast.
Yes.
And she brought me these.
Yes.
Tiki rum Mai Tai.
That's
I've never had Cutwater.
Oh, it's
I've never had it.
Pop
You're
it
supposed
right
to cut
now.
it with water, though, right?
No, what?
Didn't that like the point?
Are we like? I've never read the directions. I fear.
Oh, it's saying don't drink if you're pregnant. Is there directions? White rum, barrel aged rum, natural flavors. Natural flavors.
Natural flavors.
Gluten free. Shout out.
Shout out. Plus, it's mostly water. That's not true. There's no water in there.
Contains caramel color.
Yeah,
Caramel
it's a little
color.
brown on the inside, like everyone should be.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm gonna have these.
To commemorate our friendship.
Whenever I throw a housewarming party.
Don't give that to people. That's
No,
really
you and
wrong.
you're gonna come and we're gonna have these. We're gonna have one.
we'll
And we're
just-
gonna cheers them. We're gonna be plastered at my housewarming party.
Nah,
No, I don't do alcohol at my parties. I think they're weird. I want to do like wine and charcuterie and board games.
Okay,
I want to have like wholesome parties.
Stop. I was going to get you wine because that's what you get for a housewarming gift. Like
You got me flowers too.
I did.
Put it
I
on
got
the
you
record.
flowers. But I was like, I don't want to be like an alcoholic and like double up on the alcohol. And I was not going to give up the bit of Cutwater. That
You're
was
like,
funny.
I'm doing the Cutwater bit.
The Cutwater. But I usually give like Stella Rose Black, which is like, it looks really pretty. So people usually like stack it on top of their cabinet or something, or just have it as decorations. And that's typically what I give people.
Yeah.
Can you tell I was born in the South?
Can you tell I was born in the South?
Yeah.
I want to talk about that actually. Perfect segue. So you and I once bonded over the fact that neither one of us utilize our Southern accents anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
Tell me why you don't. I'm gonna mute this because I have to readjust this mic stand.
So I don't use my Southern accent, which this sounds crazy, but not all of Alabama is country. I by far lived in some of the most country adjacent areas. When I first grew up, I was like in this small town called like 8 Mile, Alabama.
I'm listening, I promise.
No, you're good. I have ADHD. And so, yeah, 8 Mile was like very rural. There was like one school in the general area. It was directly across the street from me. But my house had like tons of land. And my neighbors had animals. I didn't have animals. We were poor.
Yeah.
Also,
that's
the
fair.
only reason we had a house is because my great-great-grandmother, Dorris, that's who I'm named after, she bought a bunch of houses to give out to the public because, you know, black people couldn't afford houses. So we all rent them out still for like $300.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the house I lived on was like, it had tons of like yard, and like the chickens from my neighbors used to come over. Down the road there was horses, and like I was just outside. And so I grew up in a really country area. And then I went to North Alabama, UAB. That's literally inner city.
Yeah.
They get a scholarship. If you grew up in Birmingham and managed to go to college, you get a scholarship because it's inner city schools.
Yeah.
They called me City Girl. They'd be like, "Hey, City Girl," because I made the mistake and said that all I've ever wanted to do was grow up in the city and be a city girl. And they were like, "Okay, City Girl." And I was like, and so I spent all my years, you know, there trying to.
Yeah. When I think I have a very similar experience of home growing up in South Carolina, because we were kind of poor, and we were like South Carolina poor, which is like we were very lucky. We were the couponing type of poor. You know what I mean?
Love
like the Malcolm in the Middle type of poor,
Yes.
where it's like. Now we can't like we can get the great value of everything, but we're not going to be able to get like the name brand. Do you have? Okay, I asked Melina on the last episode, but I want to know if you have anything that like you had to buy the name brand of as like growing up, because there were things that we had like Duke's mayonnaise.
Yes.
We weren't buying like Kraft mayonnaise or like great value mayonnaise.
Charmin tissue.
Really?
Yes. And Dove soap. Those are the only two things.
Those are the only two things.
Those are it.
It was always Duke's mayonnaise and Dawn dish soap. We had to buy Dawn.
That's fair.
My mom was like, "I'm not washing the dishes with any."
It cuts through the grease.
I guess it cuts through the
Oh my
grease.
gosh.
Ask those ducks.
They used
Those
that to
ducks
clean up
know.
the oil spill from when I was on the beach.
Really?
Yeah. They used
my
Dawn dish
gosh.
soap. We moved to Gulf Shores later on.
Yeah.
The oil spill, they used Dawn dish soap.
That's crazy.
Those pictures is from that. Well,
really?
They're severely photoshopped.
Yeah,
yes,
but it's the same vibe. But yeah, I feel like growing up in the South and then moving here, like when I moved here and then I went. Sorry. When I moved here, and then I went back home, darling. Stop. Well, when I moved here, I realized that people have a preconceived notion about people with an accent, and so it like you have to like drain it out of you a little bit, and then you form this like accent from nowhere, you know, where it's like who's to say, you know?
I couldn't even tell you from the South.
Yeah, unless I know me wearing my
right. Because that was a dead giveaway.
It usually is. I don't know. It is for me.
He also met me outside barefoot, so.
I didn't.
And I was like, okay.
Well, yeah, I didn't know. There's a lot of houses on here. And I'm wearing a bright pink shirt. But yeah, I think, because I mean, obviously, like if I have one of these Cutwaters right now, that's going to start coming out. If I'm tired, things like that. But like, whenever I went back home after moving to Florida, people called me Hollywood. And I was like, it's Florida, but okay. Because it's like, you know, it's like if you tell everyone that you have a dream, then you follow the dream, and then you come back, it's either Hollywood or City Girl, I guess. Because it's like, you know, people don't leave there a lot. I have people I went to high school with. I talked about this on the episode with Mia that have kids and are married now. Yes. At my age, 21.
Yes.
And I'm like, period. But that was their thing. It wasn't for me.
That's a life.
Yeah. Immediately.
People are like married like immediately out of high school. Like, yeah. It's kind of intense.
I want to get married in the next 4 years.
We can do that.
And we can do that together.
I can make your dreams come true.
Make your dreams. Well, some of them.
Okay.
But the marriage part. Okay, well. Okay, well, that's really interesting, actually, that you said that.
So, didn't you start off with saying I was perfect and amazing and beautiful?
I think I said most beautiful woman you've ever seen.
Yeah, I think
something like
exactly
that.
What he said.
Most beautiful woman you've ever seen,
not me.
Most beautiful woman they've ever seen.
That's what my mom tells me.
God, and isn't she right? What is the topic? Well, I know the topic you wanted to bring, but I want you to tell them what your topic is. It's very broad.
Yes, I meant to.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Stop. I was gonna say mental health. I meant to text you to say I meant specifically about coping mechanisms and the science behind it. The science.
Coping mechanisms.
Yes,
and the science behind it.
Yeah.
Okay, like mental health.
The science behind it. Okay. Yeah. See, that's not necessarily that broad.
No, that's cool.
And honestly, talking about coping mechanisms is a lot less intense than like mental health.
Yeah. I think mental health is so broad too and I don't pretend to know anything about it. I'm sure I suffer from something, but
no, it's perfect.
Thank God I'm talking to a basically licensed psychologist about this.
Yeah, that my goal in life was to be a psychiatrist. So,
are you still looking to do that?
Yes, but it's kind of difficult without being able to go to college. I miss school so much.
Yeah.
I miss learning.
Are you going to go
learning. Back? If I can afford it, yeah.
Yeah.
I love learning, truly.
We'll talk about that off camera.
Maybe I should marry rich.
Maybe.
But
you could.
Typically, they probably won't let me go back to school. You know how.
Maybe. Let you.
You know, like rich
women. We need to talk about that.
Rich women will be like, yo, you're staying.
I like my woman dumb.
Barefoot and pregnant.
Ew.
You've never heard that? Are you
no.
From the South?
Yes, I'm from the South. I'm not. Okay, I'm from the South, literally geographically more South than you, but you're from like the mother country of South. You're from the origin state.
Me in Texas, Alabama and Texas.
Yeah, that's where it comes from, and then it just kind of exploded from there. I'm generations down from the type of Southern that you.
For Christmas, I got authentic cowboy boots from my great uncle.
Nice.
And I was like, "Where's the matching hat?"
Where's the hat and lasso? Lasso.
I have a lasso.
Yeah, I was. Well, it's funny you say that. The other day, someone was asking me about how do you say caramel.
Caramel. Oh wait.
It's caramel or caramel are the options that they gave me, and I said caramel. As a secret third option. Caramel.
Yeah. I say...
They said no, caramel or caramel.
Caramel.
And I said caramel.
Yeah. Those are one of the words, like, there's specific words I pinpointed to make sure I changed so that...
Oil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oil, caramel, umbrella.
I can't stop saying y'all. It's just part of it. I tried.
I think y'all is like such a common phrase. Like it's now moved across the country. Like everybody says y'all now.
Yeah.
Unless I'm just stuck in the South.
They're like, you guys.
I used to say you guys like unironically for like years because I didn't want to say y'all.
I say it a lot sometimes. Whenever I'm at work, I say you guys, and then I'm like, you can't really say that anymore.
You beings.
You people.
You.
Well, you can't say you people either.
I was gonna say you beings.
You beings, you entities. That's all I got.
Y'all.
Y'all.
You all.
You all.
See, the South.
Hello, you all.
The South is more. What's it called?
Inclusive
than.
Let's cut this bit.
They were like you all.
The South has always been inclusive, and I've always.
They actually brought people into the South because they were they wanted a more type. I was there.
Cut this.
Don't cut it. Cut it.
If you cut it, it's silencing black women. And I can't do that.
You can't do that.
I've never done that.
Although, before we started recording twice before this, he did make the joke that he was silencing black women.
Okay, I was doing an audio test. And
then
I have to mute this one to see if that one works, and then mute that one to see if this one works.
That's what he said when he messed.
And I pressed the mute button, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm silencing black women."
And then this might get him canceled on Twitter. He paused Beyonce like mid song.
I had to start filming.
Right.
I would never pause Beyonce if I didn't have to.
You didn't. You could have just.
I would get copywritten, and then I couldn't put out your episode, and then I'd be even more
double silent.
Double silencing. I can't do that.
You're right.
So, if anything, I'm the biggest ally that you've ever met. If anything, I'm the best self-proclaimed ally you've ever met in your entire life.
You are.
Okay, coping mechanisms. Where do you want to start? I'm not very well versed in it.
I thought you said you.
So I'll ask questions as I go, but that's on you, Queen.
All on me. I thought you said you do your research on this so you can have a topic.
You gave me mental health.
I'm sorry.
You didn't tell me coping mechanisms until you were sitting right there just now.
Okay.
Give me something to go off of, and I'll ask questions.
So, gosh. My life back in high school-ish time, I was like cripply depressed, guys. Like, the bubbly, fun, beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, intellectual.
I think the beautiful and gorgeous were probably still true.
Right.
Because that doesn't really...
Well, you know.
I'm listening.
Person now was not who I was then. And I've changed myself to the point where I went back home to Alabama like 2 weeks ago. Worst decision I made. However, it was truly awful, gang. Like, I will never do it again. However, I did realize how much I grew since I've been in Florida, to the point where I was able to cope with a lot of the craziness that was happening around me. And people are freaking crazy down there. And some of those like things were like my coping mechanisms that I use, in my day-to-day life to like pause the storm that's around me. And one of the things that I say all the time, and I mean it, I swear by this, is I have to control what I can control, and everything else, it goes on the back burner. Like I literally cannot focus on it until I can control like one of the pie that I have. So like I was staying at my friend's house, we'll say that, and like turned out to
we'll say that was crazy to add in.
He turned out to be like a genuinely terrible person.
Nice.
And while I was angry that I was angry at the fact that I couldn't tell the difference. I didn't have the discernment to tell the difference between a good person and a bad person, because that's something I had like a history of picking up strays and like taking care of them and nursing them back to health. I came here with my best friend and we don't talk anymore. Yeah. Yes. However, I needed to get out of this situation, and I needed to get out of there fast. So instead of like, I remember thinking, wow, past Dorris would have crumbled and cried right here on the floor. I got out of there. I met with another friend. We'll say that. Had dinner. And, literally, I didn't reminisce on how terrible the situation was, because I fixed, and it's like an ADHD thing. You fix one thing and it leads to a next plot, and then a next plot, and then all of a sudden the thing that you couldn't control that you put on the back burner. And then you look
back and somebody else's,
it's gone.
Yeah.
And I say it was a terrible time, but it was because the weather was crazy. It was 80 degrees. It was 40 degrees when I got there. Turned to 80 degrees. Yes. Yeah. Then there was a tornado that touched down where I was that night. And then I woke up and it was snowing. Like, actually, that was the sum of how it went.
God was up there going,
He said, you should not be here.
Go back to Florida, please go.
Bad idea. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But that's one of the coping mechanisms I do take so seriously.
Do you think that is a healthy one? Because I view it as one.
Yes. Mm-hmm. When I say, the reason why I would say it's a healthy one is because I make sure to go back and revisit that. Once I'm out of the situation, I've taken a step out of it. Yeah. I go back and I look at, I also say this a lot, what happened there, what led to what happened there, and the outcome. Was this an outcome that is overall good or bad? There's no such thing as like, yes, there's consequences. What were the consequences and were they acceptable consequences? Yeah. I don't believe in like bad things to regret, because I used to regret so many things. But at the end of the day, I learned, number one, I don't want to go back to Alabama. Yeah. I learned, number two, that I do have to work on my discernment with people. And number three, I learned that I jump way too fast into like trusting people still, despite my work. So while I did not like Alabama, and yes, I had so much fun. Like I met my other friends and they were fun. Yeah. I look back on that and I'm like, was this an acceptable consequence? Yeah. And I accept that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I did think back to what led me to be in that situation. So that's why I say it is good. And also because I can't change those situations, which is why I put them on the back burner and move on so that I can get out of there. Yeah.
It's crazy that you bring that up as a coping mechanism, because I guess I never thought of it that way. What you just said, like only focusing on what you can control, that was told to me either the end of my junior year, and it was like right before I graduated high school. That was told to me by one of my mentors back home, Meg Jones.
Shout out to Meg Jones.
Shout out Meg Jones. Love her very much. She is an incredible woman doing great things in theater back home in the upstate. And I was going through a really rough couple month period for a second during my senior year, where in the span of like almost a month, my mom had gone through a really this was like 48 hours. So there was a 48-hour period in which my mom had gone through a super traumatic event where I didn't know whether or not she was going to like live. She's a school secretary and there was a shooting at her school. Oh my gosh. And it was like a thing of like my sister called me and said, I don't know if this is trauma dumping. I'm sorry if it is.
You're totally fine. Okay. I did choose this profession.
Okay. I was like, I will stop right now. But it was a thing of like my sister called me and said, hey, there's something going on at Tanglewood. You cannot call mom. Like, do not call mom. And she was telling me not to call mom because she didn't want me to give. Yeah. And of course, I needed to know why. And she was like, I can't tell you. Just do not call mom. And so then I was in class at the time. I was in culinary arts. And I had gone back across the hall, and my chef was like, hey, where does your mom work? And I was like, Tanglewood Middle School. And he pointed at the whiteboard, or like the smartboard thing, and there was the news coverage of like a shooting at Tanglewood Middle School. Our school went on lockdown. Everyone's schools went on lockdown in the area. And I was like, bruh, chef, you get it?
What are we doing? Oh my God.
He was like, hey, your mom, she works there, right? Right. So I was checking her location, and it was all this. And needless to say, my mom was fine. It was obviously traumatic. But physically she was fine, and I got to see her late that night because they took all the kids to like this church, and it was this big thing. And she obviously had a lot more responsibilities to take care of at the end of the day. But she came home. She was fine, all things considered, and And then the next day or thereabouts, I learned that one of my good friends that I was in a show with in theater had passed away in a car accident. Oh. She was my age, which was really, really rough for me. And then about a month later, my grandpa had been sick this entire time, but my grandfather passed away. And so it was like this straight month of like, hey, what the fuck is going on? And I was like 17 at the time, so I was like, I don't know how to deal with this. And I was sending voice memos back and forth with Meg, and I kind of told her about it, and I was like, hey, what the fuck? And she was like, all of this is really difficult, and I will never be able to give you advice about this because I don't know anyone who has ever gone through that many things all at the same time. But she was like, all I can say is that you can only focus on what you can control. And at that point I was like, oh, okay, she's giving me advice. And in a way it was kind of advice. But once you said it, I was like, oh, that's like something that people do all the time. I didn't know it was a coping mechanism, but it did really help. I was like, okay, my mom's fine. I can control my emotions about this. I can, set this to the side and think about this, and I had to graduate. It was like a month before graduation, so I was like,
didn't give you a
just
break?
Get to graduation. No, I was like, why do you think I was failing chemistry? It's like the thing I put on the back burner, chemistry. I was like, listen, I can focus on everything. I was doing a show. I was doing Something Rotten, the musical, and gay.
And you didn't quit? Oh my God.
We were like a week away from opening. I was like,
cut the
I
camera.
have got to focus on something other than this. And it was like an escape for me. I was like, okay, I can go to the theater and I can just like,
but like tech
exist
week,
outside of my body.
Theater.
It was tech week.
Yeah, you don't sleep. You don't.
No.
You don't.
And that was fine because you know what? I was at the theater when I think I was done with school by then. It was just like the period where you wait until graduation, and I was like, okay, I know my mom's okay, because obviously the death of my grandfather really affected her.
That was her dad?
Yeah, her dad. But she also had to focus on my grandma and, like all these things. And so she was focusing on that. I was making sure she was okay. I was making sure my sister was okay because, like, my sister and my grandfather were, like, close.
Yeah.
Obviously I was close to him, but she grew up with him more than I did, in terms of like duration of time. And it was just this thing, and I was like, I don't know, because I couldn't, my instinct was to put everything on myself and be like, okay, I have to make sure everyone's okay. I knew my dad was fine. I was like, my dad is a brick house. He's got it.
Ow.
Yeah, he's mighty. Don't say the next part. Don't you dare say my dad's let it all hang out.
You said I didn't.
You wanted to. Shut up. But yeah, it was that month-long time, and I didn't know that was a coping mechanism until you literally just talked about it.
Yes.
I was distracting myself with theater and stuff. Eating is a coping mechanism, right?
It is a coping mechanism. And I actually was going to, correct you.
Yeah.
But, I think the word distraction, I'm very intentional with my words.
Mm-hmm.
The word distraction, it has such a negative connotation to it. The reality is, the first thing you should have focused on is making yourself feel better, because you can't solve anything else if you don't feel better. Yeah. And theater was that thing that was making you feel better. You were you're putting a Band-Aid on the situation so that at least it'll stop bleeding for a second while you try to figure out what happened. You know? In sense of medically, you're bleeding. Let's figure out what's wrong. Right. But
no, it was an opportunity for me to not have to live in my life for an evening, and I really needed that at the moment. And it was the first show I'd ever done with just an entire adult cast, because I was the only senior. I was one of 3 seniors that were allowed to be in the show.
Oh my god.
Whatever.
So actually I was a star.
I was actually really cool.
I couldn't quit because without me the show would not be
correct. And I've been saying that. But
you are the birthday.
Correct. I had to be the boy in the dress. Who else was gonna do it? I had to be the funny gay guy. That was my typecast for a while. Funny fat guy with accent. But yeah, it was an opportunity for me to step out of my own body and be like, okay, what the fuck? And the second I walked into the theater, it was like, which I guess in retrospect I really needed at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was walking in and I was like, well, I'm clocking in at my job. at the theater.
I'm
an
the
actor.
Theater.
I'm a professional actor, so clearly I have to lock the fuck in.
Right. Were you getting paid for this?
No.
Right.
God, no, I wasn't getting paid for it. It's community theater. But shout out to the Malden Cultural Center. I love them. Mulder. I think they're called the Malden Theater Company now.
Oh my gosh.
But they do their shows at the Malden Cultural Center. Love them. Shout out Chris Parker. He's doing great stuff with that program.
I'd like to just acknowledge that was a lot, and you're incredibly strong for getting through that.
Thank you.
I'm not only super proud of you for becoming the person you are today, but, like, that's so impressive.
You too, Queen. Sorry, I'm not good at accepting compliments.
I
want to talk about food.
What about it?
I want to talk about food.
Because you are delicious.
That's true. Okay, break my stuff. Well, I feel like I also used food as a coping mechanism. And I want to know what your thoughts are on that.
So I actually struggled with an eating disorder, like, really bad in high school, which is why when you're, like, beautiful and gorgeous, and I was like, we'll get to that. Actually. Don't ever say that again. Yes. People who have an eating disorder have a controlled issue majority of the time. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's cases where they're not. But it's a part of controlling what you can't control, and what you can't control is eating.
Yeah.
Not eating too much, eating something that will make you happy, which is like something sweet, something savory. Those are coping mechanisms. It becomes an addiction when, despite, feeling, so I had bulimia. Despite feeling sick, I would still keep eating.
Can you tell me what that is?
Bulimia? Yeah. So it's like I had binge eating bulimia. So I would like eat so much, like I literally, like my stomach would be so full. Yeah. Like I would be physically sick and I would still be eating. And then before the calories could like actually break down in my stomach, I would just throw it all back up. Like I lost teeth because of it. Because if you throw up so much, it breaks down the enamel.
Yeah. Like the bile will break down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cut that. It'll break it breaks the enamel, and like you just just keep throwing up before. It's like I call bulimia like the less disciplined anorexia, because like you can't stop your eating, because I was so obsessive with it. I was like eat.
Yeah.
And then I would just, before it really digested, throw it all back up.
Yeah.
And I still deal with that today. I still say that I have an eating disorder, even though I haven't like made myself throwing up in like a really long time. But I think about my food in a way that it's not necessarily healthy. Most people don't think when they eat about whether or not this would be good for you or bad for you. They just eat for the sake of being hungry, or eat like. Also, it got to a point of time. Good and it got to a point in time where like my body literally, my stomach didn't grumble because I was never listening to it anyway. Yeah. So like my body just stopped telling me when I was hungry and when I was not hungry, and like. It's still to this day, like, I don't get those feelings anymore, like, unless I'm, like, very dehydrated, very hungry. Yeah. Like, I haven't eaten in a while. I'm like, wow, it's been, like, I haven't, what is it, almost 12 o'clock? I have not eaten a single thing. Yeah. Same. I have not drinking a single thing. He offered me a beverage. Yeah. It was a very complicated conversation. He did not want to share his Olipop. Just said, they're
if you're so expensive. Come to
this podcast, do not.
BYOO. Bring your own Olipop. They're on clearance right now at the Walmart in Hamlin. Go ahead. Run it up. Run it up.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, it is very much complementary. I think because it's so under-researched, because it's considered an addiction that doesn't actually hurt you. All addictions hurt you. You shouldn't do anything outside of moderation. Yeah. It's not very well researched.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's also a thing of, I think it's just lumped in with general obesity. Yes. Where people are like, well, we're an obese country. That's just how it is.
And people look at, like, it as lack of discipline, when in reality, like, it's not necessarily always a lack of discipline. Sometimes it's like running away from something. Sometimes I just need to feel better, and what's going to make me feel better is eating this I used to eat cheesecake, entire thing of cheesecake. Period. You know what I mean? And it's because I don't have coping mechanisms outside of eating, which is why I binge eat.
Yeah. I think I need to form some good, so I'm not quite sure if it was a coping mechanism, but I guess with the story I'm about to tell, it probably is. There is a McDonald's very close to our work, right? Yes. And it is always on my drive home. No matter any of the places I've lived, it's on the drive home. And I will go there. I used to. I don't really do it as often anymore. But I used to, if I had a stressful day at work, I'd go there, order $30 worth of food, sit in the car, eat it all. Like, to the point to where, like, if I was full, keep going, brother. because it was like a way. I feel like it's a way, kind of how some people who utilize alcohol as a way to stop thinking about whatever happened or anything like that. I think it was like that. And it was really crazy. And the only thing that helped was I went on Zepbound. And not sponsored. Hey,
run him his check.
Hey, hear me out if you want to. I mean, you can. But it helped with like me and my sister call it food noise. You know, it's the noise of like you have to eat something right now. You have to eat. You're hungry. You're hungry. You're hungry. You're hungry. And that's the. I took the shot. The next day I woke up. No food noise. Now you have to figure out a schedule with it and stuff because the first like 2 or 3 days I just wasn't eating anything because I also probably have ADHD or tendencies of someone who has ADHD. And I just was focused on other things until I started getting a headache. And then I was like, oh, it's because I haven't eaten today. But it has really helped a lot. And it's helped like control my portions too. That was a big thing. Is like if I was feeling something and I didn't have the money to do whatever, it was, okay, we'll make like spaghetti and eat the entire bowl right there. Like full thing of spaghetti, full thing of meat, full thing of marinara. Put in a big old mixing bowl. Just, you know, like The Grinch. You ever seen the animated film,
yes,
the new one?
I do like it.
Where he's like eating the giant thing of pasta. That was me.
Contrary to popular belief, I think that was really good.
It was a good one.
It was a good
one. Now, it's not as good as Jim Carrey's, but it is still good.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah.
She's really good. To that, I say yes, that was a coping mechanism. Food noise. I'm so glad you know what that is. It's actually something that a lot of people who struggle with obesity, like.
Is it like a real thing?
It's a real thing.
Okay.
Yes. In the sense that like it runs hand in hand with OCD, I think. This is not something I'm like super knowledgeable on, but I
take everything with a grain of salt. Yeah.
More like a pinch of salt, like a healthy pinch.
A normal pinch. A moderate amount of salt.
But I do think it runs with OCD. So OCD is not just, I have to be super clean, I have to be super perfect all the time.
Yeah.
OCD is like if I don't do this, something bad will happen. If I step on a crack, my mother's back will break, which is something I did struggle with. But then I had to step on a bunch of cracks to get over it. I risked my mom's life.
Yeah.
She's a soldier. She's fine. I mean,
Period.
she did hurt her back, but right. I didn't step on a crack in any time.
It was, yeah.
But it's like the
allegedly.
Thought of like, allegedly, of over obsessive noise in your head saying you have to do this, you have to do this. And it's with food noise, it's like, or when you're eating as a coping mechanism, your nervous system has now deemed this as the only thing that will bring you the chemicals. See, we're going on to it. The chemicals that you need in order to be happy.
Yeah.
Serotonin, dopamine. Those are the things that like give you pleasure, makes you better. And if you have like a really stressful day or really depressed or anything like that, you're severely lacking in that dopamine. And this is what our society today, this is the issue with social media. It gives you that immediate dopamine hit, which gives you that addiction. That's what causes addiction.
Yeah.
You over getting dopamine. But the part where you become binge eating is because the more dopamine you get into your brain, the more it like the more you'll need later on. So you know it becomes a dependency. So you started going higher on the dopamine. You need more to feel better, more to feel better. Now all of a sudden you're eating so much that you're getting sick because the idea of eating all of these things is what's making you feel better. However, the little bit of food, like at first it probably started off with like, I'm just gonna go to McDonald's and treat myself today.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I deserve I do this as well. I deserve a fish fillet and fries. And then I'm like, you did a good job. And then next week, this is actually so much stressful.
I'll sacrifice rent money. Like it was like I would literally.
I deserve a little bit more this time. It's because your body's getting used to that. Like when you're working out, you have to rip your muscles a little bit, and once you hit that max record of, you have to increase it in order for it to work. You're hitting your max level of dopamine, and it's not really doing the trick anymore. You have to go more than that. But
do you
food
think
noise is very real? Yes.
Yeah. Do you think that what you were talking about with like dopamine and serotonin, do you think that can create, because BPD runs in my family, right?
Yes.
And I don't think I've experienced it as insanely as like some of my family members have. But do you think that like food specifically could create that. You said it's almost like as much as you give your brain dopamine, it's going to take it back, and so you have to keep supplying more, and it's going to take more, and like it's a cycle. Do you think that can kind of create the like highs and lows that BPD kind of simulates? Do you think it could simulate that BPD kind of thing?
Yes, okay. I think that going off of any addiction, the moment you're not getting that dopamine level, it can like flip a switch and turn into like a very low. And I know like it's like I'm trying not to do this thing anymore, which I know would bring me back up to that high. However, it's not good for me, so I'm going to try to work through this low. That's where antidepressants and Zipod, what is it called? The thing Zepbound. Yes, it comes in. So you're not supposed to be using these medicines forever. I say that with antidepressants all the time. It's supposed to get you to, whenever you're hitting that low, get you to a normal level so that you can work on your coping mechanisms to stop you from going to that thing. Yeah. So with Zepbound, use like a schedule, yes. And the portion thing, that's what I wanted to bring back to. You're learning the appropriate portion size, and you're learning to be okay with this portion size, especially when you're having a low moment and you're trying to like fix it with food. This is the appropriate proportion, and your brain is okay with this proportion, so that once you get used to it, as you slowly stop using it, this is the appropriate proportion. It's building like habit building and something like that. I used to take my antidepressant literally every day on the dot. I could not live without it. Now I still take it occasionally. It does work in the sense that like once it wears off, it gets out of your system, but like I use a specific brand. Love it. I'm not going to drop it here because y'all don't need to know that. But it doesn't
gatekeeping antidepressants.
It doesn't need to be taken every day because it slowly comes out of your system. It slowly drops me. And as I'm slowly coming down, I'm still using my coping mechanism. I'm actively working on it every day and holding myself accountable, which is why I apologize to you, because I was just like, you know what? I was negatively using my coping mechanisms. Like I took myself from a situation that I didn't need to be. I should have talked that through. It's one of those things that like you're supposed to, it's a tool to get back to your new normal.
Yeah. That's how Zepbound is, because you take the shot once a week, right? It's like a little EpiPen. And the day after you take the shot, you're not hungry at all. And then as the week goes on, you get progressively, it wears off, right? And so I think there's this preconceived notion that people have, and I can't speak for everyone who uses, Ozempic, any of those, like Wegovy, any of those.
About you.
I'm talking about you. Any of those like weight loss drugs. But I will say that like there's this preconceived notion that it's like a easy way out, an easy way to just get skinny quick and not have to think about it. Yeah. Right. And people will say that there's not a dedication to it, and there's not. It's like fat people just don't want to work out, so they're gonna shoot themselves up with this medication, and it'll fix their problems. But it does require a dedication, because I've been on it for almost 2.5, 3 months now. And for a while, I was not losing any weight. And it was because I was taking the shot and then eating like I used to. Because I was like, oh, this is going to do it all for me. I don't even have to worry about anything. But it's not. And you still have to have the dedication. And as it wears off, you're going to get those cravings. Like the day before you take your shot, it's just like normal, right? But the more you take it and the more you train yourself, it becomes a standard for every single day.
Yes.
Before you don't even need the shot anymore, So that's the kind of thing it is. But people don't understand that, I guess.
People don't.
Yeah, right, it's a weird thing to have a stigma about, but,
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
But no, on those days where you're not, see, hunger is, you're supposed to be eating every day in general, but I eat based off of my hunger, which is not correct. You're supposed to be eating you're supposed to eat 5 mini meals a day. Yeah. But capitalism, and that's
capitalism.
What we have.
That's the thing is like, do any of us know how we're supposed to be eating? Because everything's so oversaturated. Like everyone's telling us these different things, and
so actually, yes, there is a scientific thing that tells you how you're supposed to be eating.
Perfect. Does it cost money?
No.
Okay.
So
see, that's my experience with it. Is like people, like you have like these fast food companies and stuff that's like, eat this big meal, and if you get the big meal, it's obviously cheaper, and like it's gonna make you feel good, and it's gonna be great. And then like I have family members who've done Weight Watchers, and they've done
I did Weight Watchers.
Yeah, Weight Watchers, and like you ever watch the TV show The Biggest Loser?
Yes.
Where they like made them split an almond and then like
I was
abused them.
This is actually abuse. I don't want to watch this.
I have family members who like did like a local version of that. Not as crazy. It was actually pretty healthy. But things like that, and every member of my family has tried everything, you know. And some members of my family have gotten the weight down without having to, you know, utilize a medication. But I mean, my mom looks, and it's not about looks, she feels amazing. She just turned 54 yesterday. 28. Either 53 or 54. I'm sorry, Mom. I still think in my head that you're like 40. But 28. But she started taking this medication, and she's been documenting it on TikTok. Okay.
Stop, that's so cute.
And I don't watch the TikToks because I can't. I don't know why. It's something about I love and I support my mom, but like seeing my mom on TikTok is weird to me.
Fair enough.
But she documents her journey. Boundaries. She documents her journey on TikTok, and every time we talk about it, she's like, I just feel amazing. And she looks fantastic. I don't know if she's ever going to post photos from last night, but I FaceTimed her. Every time I was with a friend yesterday, I FaceTimed her, and the friend told her happy birthday.
Did you tell her I told her happy birthday?
Yeah. Everyone that sent me an Instagram message too, I told her.
The future mother-in-law?
Yeah, the future mother-in-law is stupid. But I FaceTimed her late last night after Allison and I went to go see Project Hail Mary last night after the movie, and she was wearing this like black pantsuit. My dad picked up and was like, "You want to see something?" And I was like, "Sure." And he flipped the camera around, and it was just my mom being like, she was in this black pantsuit, and she looked gorgeous. She just curled her hair, and she had makeup on.
Like, is she happily married?
Girl.
Like, is her husband treating her the way I could treat her?
I'll let her know. I'll let her know she has options. No, I begged her to, you know, I begged her. Not as much as I begged my sister to just like explore, you know, figure it out. You don't know what's going on. Be a little gay.
Try it at least once.
Anyways, I digress. But my mom looked fantastic, and more importantly, she feels fantastic. And it's just like she has lived most of her life feeling the certain way about stuff. And she's going to come on this podcast, so I'm not going to tell her full story for her. But
period.
It's just like that's the type of inspiration that I have, and my sister, she has such a great dedication to bettering herself. Like, she studies Russian, Ukrainian. She's got 3 degrees. She all in criminal justice and homeland security. Like, my sister is probably one of the coolest people that's ever existed. She's a single mom of 3. And it's just like...
And with 3 degrees?
Yeah.
She has a degree to give to each kid.
Mm-hmm. That part.
A degree.
And she was just texting the other night, and she was like, how does Dr. Kirsten Jenkins sound? And I was like, girl, please let me catch up a little bit.
Right.
Like, I don't... Yeah.
You know who's not the favorite?
She would say differently, but I disagree. But like seeing how hard she works to better herself, even with all the things that she has to deal with, and then then you sit here on this couch in Florida, and I'm like and I'm like, why am I not working as hard? You know?
That's crazy to think. I think you work so hard.
I do, but like when you have those 2 women to compare yourself to,
yeah,
it's like
our hard and your hard are 2 different things.
I think it's an age thing too. That like I haven't earned the right to see my work pay off. You know what I mean?
No.
Does that make sense?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Your feelings aren't invalid. I can say that. I'm a licensed therapist. I mean, honestly, like looking back from the little I've heard from you, like you've worked through some incredibly hard. The little I've heard, I've literally been like, wow, he does not give up on things. Like you said, you put all of this weight on yourself to help with your family. You were like 17.
Yeah.
Normal 17-year-olds do not have the emotional, mental capacity to even think to do that.
Yeah.
Like normal 17-year-olds wouldn't have listened to your. You were in class when you found out your mom was at the school.
Yeah.
Normal 17-year-olds could not have been able to pull through and do a show the way that you did it.
Yeah.
I think that what I've really been struggling with all my life was trying to be perfect and trying to be good at everything, which is why I have this resume. Yeah. But my real struggle was learning to do things just for me to like and like just for fun.
Yeah.
Whereas I look at you and I'm like, wow, you wanted to do a podcast. You started the podcast. I've wanted to do a podcast because I'm a yapper.
Period.
And I had the equipment, I had the computer, I had everything set up for me. I didn't do it because I was like, how does this affect my resume? Like, I think my hard is what you're doing easily, and what you think is my hard is something that I'm just like, I have to do this. Yeah. I was doing all of this stuff because I thought I was needed. You know what I mean? So that's when I say your feelings aren't valid, because you're like, comparatively to me, and I'm like, compared to you, you're living your life. Like, I wanted to do, I mean, I now know that I have an issue with food, but I had the ability to get that, like the Ozempic type thing, and I literally didn't because I'm afraid of shots and I couldn't push past that. And I'm just like, wow, you have to be mentally strong to do that. Honestly, you have to be mentally strong to see where you are at this point in life and be like, no, I want to be better. Most people want to be better, but don't even think they can, and just stop there. Yeah. No, you're not inadequate. No one's inadequate unless they're comparing themselves to themselves. Comparison is the thief of joy. You know who said that? Who? Probably a black person, but a white
Probably Maya Angelou.
A white person took credit for it.
Have you seen the clip from the new Medea movie where Tyler
So I don't watch Medea.
You don't?
No, I'm just
kidding. I love them. Just kidding. Why would you assume? Well, I just keep quoting it where he's like, Tyler Perry playing Medea is like, they're like they're taking everyone out, like they're not in the book, they're not in the rooms, they don't even have Maya Angelou. But every time he says it, he goes, they don't even have Maya Angelou. Like, he has the Maya Angelou voice.
Right. God. Right. Don't be taking out Maya Angelou. God, she was such a powerful woman.
She was.
These are the women I look up to.
She still is. She's just not here. She's dead.
I was just taking a moment of silence for Maya Angelou.
I was doing this.
No, literally, whenever I think that I'm being inadequate, I have to look back on who I was a year ago. Oh my gosh, I reposted this TikTok, made me cry. Not really. I mean, mentally I was crying.
I haven't cried in a while.
Right. Yeah. No, I do cry often, but I do schedule cries, which is another thing.
Really?
Yes.
I envy that. I wish I could cry. Yes. I haven't cried. I cry when I'm scared. Right? Yes. And not like horror movie scared. I cry when like I fear that something that is going to change the path of my life is going to happen. Yeah. Like the last time, I used to work in a different job. And
a different job.
I used to work in a different thing. And there was a very scary moment for me where I thought I was going to be fired for something that I did not do. Mm-hmm. But I knew that I had no say in it, and no one was going to believe me. Terrifying.
People don't believe white men?
No.
Oh, it's complicated.
It's because I'm gay. But they, like, I genuinely, like, I went into the bathroom at this job, and I called my mom, and I was like, I'm terrified, you know? And I was like, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, it's completely out of my hands, and it's probably a control thing. It was completely out of my hands. No one was believing what I was saying. The thing that was being said about me was a lie. But no one was believing me because I'm a white man. But it was like, I was genuinely terrified that I was going to lose my job, have to move back home, which is also something that I do not want to do. And all for, like, losing out on this dream career that I have, all for something that was not true and I could not control, you know? And that's the last time I genuinely cried. But like crying makes me feel better. You know what I mean? Like expelling the emotions in a physical way makes me feel better. I wish I could do it. I also wish I could happy cry. That's something I really envy about people.
I can cry on command.
Really?
Yes.
Don't do it. It makes me uncomfortable. Stop. Stop.
No, I learned to do that because, you know, I'm a star. On top of all of my academic achievements, I was also in theater.
I also have an EGOT, so.
Watch out, Viola Davis.
Right.
But no, I do a scheduled cry, not necessarily like on the dot of time.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do believe that sometimes emotions like cloud my judgment whenever I need to think things through logically. I am a very logical person.
Yeah.
I fear. However, in the spirit of going back and revisiting these things, I allow myself to expel those emotions. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but like breathing in the clear skies, out the gray clouds, in the white clouds. Yeah.
I've never heard of that, but yeah.
Well, that's a couple mechanisms to try to get you to breathe and like visualize getting all those negative emotions out. That doesn't work for me. I hate it.
Really?
No, because breathing does help. I am a huge advocate of breathing. I hate telling people to just breathe, but please, when I say focus on the thing you can control, what you can control is slowing down your heart rate. Breathe.
Yeah.
Breathe.
I had a panic attack like a month and a half ago, just with like
should have called
everything. Well, I called my best friend.
I'm not your best friend. I brought you cut water.
This is really awkward. I live with my best friend. But it was at my old house, which was 30 minutes away from where he lived. And I had to tell my roommate, Lauren, to call him. And he came over, and the first thing it was like put something cold on the back of his neck. And it was like to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, you know, type thing. And it did really help. Because
it not only does it slow down your heart rate, but because you're so busy trying to make sure that you're breathing in for 4, hold for 4, you lose that thought of what's panicking you. So like my roommate had a complete panic attack the other night. Like again, she was being framed for something. Well, she thought she was going to be framed for something that she couldn't control, and she didn't do it. And I called my mom about this afterwards. She seemed so fine. She goes, "Hey, are you up? Can I talk to you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's 1 a.m. I'm like, "Yeah, of course. I'm taking off my makeup." She comes in and she goes, "So, she starts the story, sobs, slides down the wall. Like it was something for somebody get this girl an Oscar. She was sliding down the wall, crying like,
Viola Davis, yeah.
Well, she's white, so.
Oh, can't think of a white actress.
Anne Hathaway. Yes.
There we go.
Emma Watson. She's a little redheaded. I think she's a little redheaded, but apparently I don't know because she's blonde. But whatever.
Emma Watson?
No, not Emma Watson. Emma Stone.
Oh, Emma Stone.
That's my bad.
Emma
All
Stone.
of the Emmas.
I'll do that one.
So yeah, and she's like spilling it out at me, like she's going, and I'm also needing to calm my emotions down while hers is emotions down because I'm trying to catch everything. And she goes, "So what do you think? Am I going to be fired?" And I was just like, "Do you want to go get some ice cream?" Yeah. Completely took her off guard. She was like,
"What?"
Yeah, ice cream would be nice. I'm gonna go get some ice cream. And like the goal of that was, number 1, take her mind off of it. Number 2, comfort food, ice cream. Number 3, it's cold. It's giving you different sensations. When I used to have panic attacks, I used to like touch the wall, things that would physically be cold, like because it would distract my mind from the whirlwind that I was in. I took her out. We played some music, and she was just like, "Okay," and I played. She calls it white girl music. I played that specific playlist for her, and she goes, "Okay, you have tunes. Okay, you know ball." And you know ball. And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And whenever she would spiral, I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I actually love this song. This reminds me of this moment." And that's not necessarily me trying to distract her from her feelings. It was more like I needed to pull her out of that whirlwind so that she can realize that there's more to life than this exact moment that she's feeling. Afterwards, we talked, and whenever she would work herself up again, I would change the topic again because we need to reground ourselves while slowly realizing. And then by the end of it, she literally said, "Wow, you're really good at this."
You should like go to school for this or something.
You should like, you would be a really good therapist. And I said, well,
funny story, actually.
Do study this in school life.
If you ever took a moment to get to know me, I
think so. I fear we did talk about this before when we were meeting our roommates. I know that you study criminology. Bro. I study psychiatry. I know our other roommates hospitality.
But I know you're going through a lot, so I'll let you take that moment.
No, I hold her accountable. You don't listen to me, and that's why this took so long. We didn't get back into the house until 3 a.m.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also want to say this. I'm really good at impressions, and if you would have known her, you would have been like, wow, that's really spot on. That's also how I found out I had perfect pitch. I didn't know that until people started saying that, and I was like, no. And then I Googled it, and I did the test, and I was like,
you're Charlie Puth.
I also play 4 instruments. Yeah. I should have said that from the beginning. I taught myself
You're the
piano
most annoying person I've ever met
by ear. And
you taught yourself piano by ear?
Yes. The first song I ever learned was For Elise by Beethoven. And I called my mom and I was like, do you know I have perfect pitch? She goes, I didn't know there was a technical term, but she goes, didn't you like hear For Elise and like play it? And that's how you learned piano? And I was like, that's perfect pitch.
You're one of the worst people I've ever met in my entire life.
No, I actually found this out 2 days ago.
I'm cutting that.
Actually,
you're ridiculous.
2 days ago, I found out I had perfect pitch. It
You're
was
insane.
from somebody who was training me at my job. And she was just like, I was singing because I sing all the time. And she goes, do you have perfect pitch? And I was like, no. And then my roommate was like, do you have perfect pitch? And I was like, no. And then I had a dream about the specific song. And I woke up and I was like, it was Pitch Perfect. You know, you sing Pitch Perfect at the end.
I've seen some, yeah.
Okay. Well.
Sorry. I know they do that. Cut off.
Anyway, so I woke up and I was like, hit the
man.
note, and I was like, I think I have perfect pitch. And I Googled it, did the test. I do have perfect pitch.
Just like Charlie Puth.
Yes, and Michael Jackson, and Lady Gaga, and Ariana Grande. And Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if Ed Sheeran had it. All I know, Charlie Puth, that's like his whole thing, is that he has perfect pitch. So he does it in like every single interview.
Yeah, like
yeah, where he does it. Yeah.
Turn me
Gosh.
on like a light switch. Yes, that's where my impressions come from. You would have said that was spot on because I can do impressions crazily, which is also a sign of perfect pitch. Ariana Grande, she can do.
She can do really good impressions.
Because
yeah,
she can hear it enough. That's
it. Wow, that's crazy.
We've
covered so much.
Yes. Oh, my mom. That's why I called her and I was like, "Hey."
Oh yeah.
It was so sad, and this is so funny. I was like, this is so funny, Mom. You're gonna think it's funny. And I was like, well, actually, you might think it's a little sad. So I was like, she had a breakdown. It was crazy. It was 1 a.m. And I said, do you want some ice cream? She literally laughed. And she goes, see, you always used to get mad at me when I offered you ice cream, but I was just trying to help. And I was just like, okay, well, I didn't want any ice cream because I could tell what you were doing.
Because I'm smart, Mom.
It only works for people who don't know.
It only works on dummies. You're not dumb. If you're watching this, you're not dumb. But no, yeah, that was also a thing that because I was going for the Oscar as well. I think this is the first time I've ever had a panic attack, like truly. Which, if you look at the things I've talked about all episode, you think, oh, maybe those were panic attack worthy. I was talking about like moving and like getting another job, and I was fully sitting on the couch with like a pillow going, like truly like Oscar worthy.
Do you think that the reason you didn't have panic attacks is because you had your comfort item being food to help with that?
Probably. Oh my God.
And now that you didn't have that because you're being better.
Yeah, probably.
You had to face your feelings.
Yeah, it had to go somewhere else. Probably. But the ice cream thing for me was after I got my breathing under control, my best friend and my roommate they were like, want a grilled cheese? And I was like, yeah, I love grilled cheese. And they made me a grilled cheese. I'm
lactose intolerant. That doesn't stop me.
That doesn't stop. Hey, what are those little things that y'all can take?
Oh, Lactaid?
Yeah.
I have a box of 360 of them. And I know it's 360 because I was like, why not 5? I'm supposed to eat dairy every single day. And 5, that's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
You're so used to eating dairy. And then all of a sudden, last 5 days of the year, you're like, I got to get some more.
Yeah.
So I'm an addict.
They want you to buy a year and 5 days worth.
You've ever seen that when we learned this in math class, how hot dog buns have like come in 8, but hot dogs come in 6.
Yeah.
So that you have to buy more than necessary to use it up.
I just did that. I just bought some. I like to put bratwurst in hot dog buns. They're really good.
Fancy.
Okay, it's not fancy. They're cheap.
You sound like Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Bratwurst.
Bratwurst. Ugh.
Perry the platypus.
Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about? What'd you bring me to put on the set?
Yes.
Because I'm a nerd.
Harry Potter.
Big head Harry Potter.
Okay.
You better hope your mom doesn't watch this.
I will be sending it to her. She won't even recognize it because she knows I don't like stuff. Like, I'm such a minimalist. I don't believe in having stuff. Mom got it for me a year ago. Still has the tag on it.
It's a little backpack. It's giving. I feel like it's probably from Five Below.
It probably is. Don't call my mom cheap. Anyway,
I didn't. I just used to work at Five Below.
Oh, not name dropping.
Sorry.
Sponsor,
please.
I took my mom for the first time. I give her all of the experiences because she had a child, relatively young, 3 children.
Yeah.
But she's always loved Harry Potter. It's one of my comfort shows.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that really regrounds me back into being normal.
Yeah.
And for her birthday last year, it's the first time second time I've come to Orlando. I brought her to Harry Potter World. I paid for the whole thing, the flights, the Airbnb, everything. And it was such a very moving moment for me because I gave her the thing that she's always wanted to give us. Like, she'd be like, we're going to save money and go to these. And, crisis would happen because we were poor.
Yeah.
But I brought her there, and then I also brought her to the other amusement parks later on because that was like my goal in life. Like, she didn't get to have a childhood just because she was having unprotected sex, but that's because Alabama doesn't believe in sexual health.
Sorry, it took a big turn. Sorry, trying to catch up.
I have ADHD.
Took a big turn. Hold on.
Alabama preaches abstinence.
What's happening?
But yes, she had children when she was a teen, so she didn't get these things, and she's always wanted to give it to us. And I was just like, my goal in life was. That's why I wanted to do psychiatry, is because mental health is such an topic amongst Black community, amongst women, amongst the poor. Yeah. Poor people should never have feelings. They can't afford them.
Truly.
Put that as the beginning of
Ditto. The video. Poor people should never laugh.
Poor people should
literally.
I say that all the time.
Broke bitches should never laugh.
Yes. Yeah. So, I went to Harry Potter World, and she brought me that. And she's like, thank you so much. She literally cried because she was just like, thank you so much. Yeah. My favorite daughter.
I love getting my family in for free. It's like healing in a way. Now they have started to weaponize it against me. They started to do a lot of assuming. And like, oh, so when we go here, this is, and you can get our discount on this, and then you can get the thing for that. And then I'm like, okay, I mean, yes, I'm going to, and I love doing it.
I have 9 tickets still, and I've been here for a year. I've used one of them. Right. Because you will not be utilizing me.
Because I will be rationing.
I am, what is it? A dull pencil.
Yeah. I've started doing a thing of, if people are coming down here and they want their tickets, their vacation has to be built around me. You have to be coming down here to see me, not to go to the theme parks.
What can you do?
What can I do? I have a big ego.
Sorry. Also,
you want the discount or not?
Why don't I have theme music for when I come here? That's actually one of my first.
Do you want theme music?
Yes.
Do you think I should do that now whenever I introduce a guest?
Yes.
They should have theme music and then come in?
I fully expected a theme song. Like a little...
theme song.
Not like a theme song like for TV, but like, like a song that reminds me of your personality. Like, see? Credit me.
Credit me. In the future, I'll do it, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then like 15 seconds of it, you won't get charged.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Or I'll sing it.
Last thing
Or I'll have you record everything because you have perfect pitch.
Perfect pitch. You said that McDonald's it's always by your job, and I'm like, it's by everything, by design. That's marketing, so that when you immediately get off,
because it's the only fast food restaurant in that area
by design. Also, like I said, capitalism with the 3 meals a day, it's because of Henry Ford that we have 8 hours on, 8 hours off, 8 hours of sleep. You eat in between each of the 8 hours because Henry Ford had a factory, and that's what
it's passed down that much.
Yes,
that's crazy.
Everything goes back to slavery and capitalism, I fear. Even slavery goes back to capitalism.
Yeah.
I meant to say racism and capitalism. Even racism goes back to capitalism.
Yeah.
Everything goes back to it.
Yeah.
And we do have...
It's all about labor.
Yes. Yeah. You're not supposed to be eating 3 big meals a day. It puts you to sleep. You're supposed to eat 5 small meals a day to keep you full, and that's how you get your balanced nutrients. You're not supposed to be eating dairy, fruit, vegetables. That doesn't even make any sense. Meat, all of these things all at once, that's going to get you filled. Yeah. You get fruit. Like in the mornings, I have yogurt. I have dairy-free yogurt. Yogurt, fruit. I have my grains, my oats. Yeah. And I eat that in the morning, and that does keep up with the energy. I am really big on food science and everything like that. Oats help you with the energy. Yogurt helps the oats break down because it's prebiotics. Fruit is a natural source of sugar, which keeps your blood sugar regulated. Then you eat something for brunch. Yeah. It's a real thing. that's when you eat your proteins and all of those things
Brunch,
to give you a little push.
Yeah.
And lunch, yeah. But no, this is a scientific fact. And yes, it's different per person, but it's a scientific fact. You're supposed to not be eating 3 meals a day.
That's crazy. I'm gonna ask you one more question before we go. Okay.
I probably know the answer.
Okay. I don't know if it's a Southern thing or if it's just my grandmother thing, but she calls lunch dinner, and she calls dinner supper. So it's breakfast, dinner, supper, instead of breakfast, lunch, dinner. Have you ever heard of that?
I have.
Okay.
I have heard that. However, I didn't eat lunch because I had an eating disorder. I didn't know that.
Okay, well that's not what I.
No. Can I clarify?
Okay.
I didn't know actually people eating lunch was like a thing until like college, and people were like, "Yeah, let's go make some lunch," and I was like,
"Huh? What?"
But yes, supper was always the last meal of the day.
Yeah.
Dinner was like supper was like 7:00. Dinner was like. Okay. Dinner was at like 4 or 5 o'clock, and it was more of like a light something to get you to supper.
Like the appetizer before the entree.
I mean, if an appetizer could happen 2 hours before the entree.
Yeah. Maybe dinner show.
I mean, people get off of work at 5 o'clock. They have to cook, so 7 was normal.
Yeah.
Judge you much.
7 was normal. I was eating later. That's why I was.
Oh, you're not supposed to eat after 8 p.m.
I know, but I was doing rehearsals.
Get your nausea, heartburn, indigestion,
Stomach, diarrhea. Yeah.
That should be my theme song.
Not sponsored by Pepto-Bismol.
See, this was fun. You thought it was going to be so serious.
I did. Well, okay, I was going in and being like, mental health. Great.
I offered to change it.
Coping mechanisms. No, I wanted you to talk about what you wanted to talk about. Because I don't. Go ahead, say it with me. Silence black women.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to say hate me.
I don't do that either.
Not anymore now that we drink Cutwater. Sponsored.
I have not drank it, but yes, you drink Cutwater.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I've been trying not to cuss. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Okay.
Well, thanks for coming on. Love you.